here are 5 things that you should consider if you're thinking about buying a real estate investment. So number 1, first and most important, is understanding your own time frame. So are you ready to roll right now? Could you close within 2 to 3 months? Or are you thinking that it's more about the investment itself, making sure that the property makes sense, right location, needs a big yard, whatever the case may be, and maybe you don't have to rush into it and it can take up to a year. All of that is really pretty dependent on understanding your own finances as well. Are you good with the down payment? If you need a couple more months to save, then do that. Number 2 is understanding your own ownership style. What's the intention of the property? Are you planning to own or occupy and live in one of the units, or are you buying this strictly as an investment? Ultimately, too, there's a lot of different ways if you're going to be strictly an investor and not live in the property as to how you can make other sources of income within the property. So number 3 is understanding cash flow versus expenses. And this is very important, obviously, with investment properties, because if your cash flow isn't superseding your expenses, it's no longer an investment. It's now just a liability. So making sure you're somewhat educated, as well as having a realtor who understands how to calculate all that stuff, is very important to make sure that this property makes sense for you. Number 4 is having a very good grasp of understanding your own level of self-improvement. More often than not, I see people go into a property and they think that they can do this and they can do that, and then they find 2 months down the road that they can actually not do it. So that becomes very important for making sure that you're not paying somebody else to do those repairs, because that now adds to your list of expenses and changes your cash flow. Number 5, how involved do you want to be with the property? So you can have a very, very interactive approach. You could be the one out there mowing the lawn, doing all the maintenance, collecting the rents. Or alternatively, if once you understand that all of that, you can do that, and it's going to be pretty inexpensive, but it's going to cost you your own time. So hiring things like a property manager, paying somebody to do all of those improvements to the property may be more lucrative, but you have to know that going into the property so you can kind of budget and make sure that it makes sense. And then number 6, this is a freebie, but if it makes the most sense for you to go in with a partner, that might be the best option for you. So there's lots of different opportunities, lots of people willing to invest in real estate investments. So if that's the case for you, then maybe you should consider that.